yes, as I predicted, just wanted to mention this. As I predicted, I got a bunch of unsubscribes yesterday. You can't, it turns out, criticize Tucker Carlson or Fox News without getting real retribution. There you go. It's the price of integrity. So I thought I'd start out right off the bat with criticizing Tucker Carlson, and just in case I miss anybody, and Donald Trump. So we'll do them both and just get rid of them. Right? You just get rid of them. Yeah, but Shawsbutt says they can only unsubscribe once. That is true, but I seem to get constantly new subscribers who somehow think that I'm going to toe the party line when it comes to Republican nonsense. All right. So, this Dominion lawsuit against Fox with regard to defamation is just a gift that keeps on giving. I mean, if you've read anything from the Dominion lawsuit, it is just unbelievable in terms of revealing Fox for what these people really are and how they manage. It truly is stunning. It truly is stunning. Anyway, Tuesday, we got a whole bunch of new documents released as part of the lawsuit, including more documents about Tucker and more documents from, and more texts from Tucker and more stuff from Richard Murdoch and the CEO, Suzanne Scott. Now, I can't go over all of this, but because there's so much there, and but a lot of it is juicy. If you're interested, you can just look up the Dominion lawsuits and go look at the documents, and there's a lot of fun stuff. But just a few things. As the election was winding down, as the election was over, about 2 months after the election, it was clear at Fox to pretty much everybody that Donald Trump had lost. There was a certain relief among the Fox that he is gone. So this is Tucker Carlson in a tweet on January 4th, 2021, 2 days before the January 6th. He wrote, "We are very, very close to being able to ignore Trump most nights. I truly can't wait." And then in a follow-up tweet in the same conversation, "I hate him passionately." Now, just reset a second. We're talking about Tucker Carlson here. This is what Tucker Carlson said about Donald Trump. "I truly can't wait, basically, to ignore Trump most nights. And then, I hate him passionately." And then, with regard to Trump's 4-year record, with regard to his presidency, this is what Tucker Carlson had to say, quote, "We're all pretending we've got a lot to show for it, because admitting what a disaster it's been is too tough to digest. But come on, there really isn't an upside to Trump." It's Robert Murdoch, in testimony said he said they knew Trump had lost, and he knew Trump had lost, and everybody really knew Trump had lost. Laura Ingraham was angry at the channel for continuing to play up Sidney Powell and the whole pro-Trump angle. I mean, this is Laura Ingraham. It really is, unbelievable how negative all these people were, how negative they were with regard to Trump, and how negative they were with regard to Trump's presidency and his legacy. And yet they don't say this on air. They'd never say this on air. And now, when obviously Trump is back, Trump has survived. I think what they thought was Trump was finished after that election. I think most of us hoped that would happen. But now that he's back to sucking up to him, back to pretending he is God's gift to all of us, back to pretending he's the best and the greatest. I mean, it was just, I just read a story. Where is it? There it is. I mean, They're back to editing him to make him look good. So, for example, I think it was last night, Donald Trump did an interview with Hannity, in which he said, there would be no war, and I would negotiate a deal with Putin, there would be no war. This is all because of Biden, and da-da-da-da. And part of that, he said, quote, that's without even negotiating a deal. I could have negotiated. At worst, I could have made a deal to take over something, for the Russia to take over something. There are certain areas that are Russian-speaking areas, frankly, but you could have worked a deal. In other words, Trump is saying here, I would have worked a deal with Putin, would have given him some of Ukraine in exchange for peace. All right, I mean, there are a lot of people who believe that, but we don't want to make Trump look bad. In other words, we don't want to make Trump look weak as negotiating a deal and giving something to Putin. So later that night, this is last night, I think, Hannity played excerpt from his exclusive interview with Trump on his primetime Fox News program. The original is on the radio show, so the whole thing was played on the radio show because it was live. And he did highlights of his interview, and in the highlight of the interview, he basically edited out the part where Trump says parts of it speak Russian, and I'd give Putin that. It basically goes, I could have negotiated, and then it skips 30 seconds, and it goes to something about China. Still covering his ass, still, playing games to try to make him look as appealing as possible for the Republican base, for the Fox viewers, still wanting to make sure they don't make looking bad and hurt their own ratings. I mean, this is your, some of you anyway, some of your news network. Thank you for listening or watching the Yaron Brook Show. If you'd like to support the show, we make it as easy as possible for you to trade with me. You get value from listening. You get value from watching. Show your appreciation. You can do that by going to yaronbrookshow.com/support, by going to Patreon, Subscribestar, Locals, and just making a appropriate contribution on any one of those channels. Also, if you'd like to see the Yaron Brook Show grow, please consider sharing our content and, of course, subscribe. Press that little bell button right down there on YouTube so that you get an announcement when we go live. And for those of you who are already subscribers and those of you who are already supporters of the show, thank you. I very much appreciate it.